Hello and welcome to the Mythic Odysseys of Theros, and we are DC30, D&D with the ancient Greek twist. I'm your Dungeon Master Red Nova, and I'm joined as ever by my lovable players, Skotinos, Amalia, Eslin, Jason, and Calliope. So, when last we left off, you guys had made for the Isle of Iska on a mission as a favor to Daxos in recompense for getting bailed out of your sticky situation with the Miletian militia, also the Miletian authorities. You sailed for a combined total of 4 days, encountering dangers and rescuing a castaway in the process. The castaway is currently in your custody as well. On the morning of the 5th day, with some time to spare as you had made good headway encountering favorable winds, you pulled up after seeing the island approach on the horizon into the dock of the famous Isle of Iska, and you find yourselves parked into the marina. So, Tempest, what would you like to do?
We now have, because we've travelled with the Oracle as well. So I suppose a good first bet place is to find out some place that she can be taken care of.
Yeah, as good a plan as any, really.
BRB.
And other than that, I suppose seeing if we can acquire more information regarding what it is exactly that we're trying to get.
Where do people tend to drop human children?
Well, shouldn't we ask her if she wants to come with us, and then on our way back to Melody's, maybe?
Yeah, I guess it wouldn't be fair necessarily to just dump her anywhere. Tanis? Where exactly, do you know where your home was? Or where you might possibly want to go?
I remember a city.
A large city? A small city?
Yes. I remember a big city.
Melodies?
I don't know. I'm sorry. She's gonna retreat into herself.
Perhaps she is with us for the foreseeable.
Well, not to say that that isn't a fabulous idea, but just a reminder what happened to the last person we escorted.
What happened to the last person you escorted?
They were absolutely fine. Nothing happened to them at all.
Make a deception check.
Wait, who was
I'm
the
not
last?
going to do that to her.
I did not load up my character sheet. Good morning. Or I did and I closed it off. Right, okay.
I'm going to
Deception.
use this die, the ethereal die, because it's appropriate.
Okay.
Make an insight
That
check.
is a 15 plus 2 for a total of 17.
She didn't roll super great for a total of 14, so, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lying
well,
to children. My favourite pastime.
You're sure your son's not better off without you?
Oof. I don't know. That's up to you as a DM, really.
I mean,
If there is still a son to go back to.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Question:
Wait,
who
wasn't that last campaign?
escorted?
The fucking crazy guy who ran away and got killed.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Doritos.
Slow moment. Sorry.
I love that that is your guys' recollection of those events. It genuinely amuses me.
Well, Scotinus is applied. He's currently got a 100% success rate, so he doesn't want that
Oh,
Sully.
to be fair, we did escort a child as well. The child didn't die.
Rescued a child.
Because I mean, we had
Yeah.
an owl, and then we didn't have an owl. It's kind of hard to keep up.
I will say at this point, Galatea, who comes up from below decks and has heard part of this conversation, will come up to you guys and say, "I can watch over her."
Oh, that would be very helpful. Thank you.
Not a problem. She claps a bit more forcefully than she maybe meant to Tannis on the back and says, "Do you want to learn how to hunt?" And Tannis sort of looks up. If she had eyes, she'd sort of go a bit bug-eyed, but she sort of is a bit apprehensive, then looks back at you guys.
I'll sort of like give like a reassuring nod, as if like she's a good egg.
Oh,
She'll look after you.
okay. Great! Come on, she doesn't drag, but it is sort of like a grabs her by the hand and like come on, let's go, and then she sort of Tannis just kind of lets herself be taken for a ride. And yeah, Galatea just says, "I'll check back in the evening." And she's off.
Okay. Right, so...
Tell you what, let's get, if you guys have Foundry open,
I do.
just because it applies under all circumstances.
That's true.
Well, something should be playing. Ah, there we go. There we go. Anyone in Twitch, if the audio ambience is too loud, feel free to let me know. How's it sound to you guys?
Mine's still loading ATM.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Mine...
How it's get?
Yeah, mine's still in too.
Okie dokie.
Let me press refresh and see what happens.
Oh, you guys should also notice an update to your tokens.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that
Subtle.
on Twitch?
Subtle but fair.
Oh, you're on Foundry. Oh right, Foundry doesn't. Does Foundry work for you, Teddy, yet? Or
Nope.
like, sorry.
Hey, nice.
No. Oh.
What do you mean no?
They're taking my personal space. 2 meters, guys. 2 meters.
10 feet.
Do you guys know what a Marud is?
No.
No.
If you don't want to find out, quit fucking around.
So yeah, as we're
No.
like settling up, Scotinus will look to the group and go. So I've been drinking a small amount Remind me, what exactly is it that we're after again?
Oh, wrong layout.
While we're are we out in public now, or are we still on the ship?
Oh, I would have asked this.
Okay, cool. Well, I believe that it should be the a tomb of an ancient king. Now, or we still have
Anyone
a
in?
map to some underwater city.
Yes.
All the
that's
information we
Fair.
is that it should, if it was near where the people are on this island, it would have been already. All the
that we're looking for
one
the pot.
side of the island, it would have been over by gnolls, regular gnolls, I believe. And it's also believed that the cave is somewhere near the water. And also try not to upset the snails. That's all I remember.
Well, I guess you can occasionally check using that spell you have if we get close to whatever it is we're looking for. Is that right? Like you're looking for a copy of the crown? What was it that Daxus showed you?
Oh, he made like a replica of the crown.
I
So-
thought it was the actual thing.
No. If it was the actual thing, we wouldn't need to be here.
No, he got it. He said he got it from the archives, like it was. I mean, if it's a replica, then fine. I thought it was a genuine thing. I was surprised we didn't get to keep it, probably because we could have lost it or sold it. But I would have lost it or sold it. I would have
Oh,
sold it. But yeah. So what was it? Was it a crown? Was it?
yeah.
Okay, can we just go look for what we're meant to look for? Otherwise, we're going to be on this ship for ages.
Someone just make an intelligence check and see if they remember anything.
It's like what? It's like I'm a mama sea turtle and I'm watching my babies just get snatched up by seagulls.
Hey,
Might
I
as well
didn't see
make-
anybody else offering any information.
I was busy drinking. I suggest we make port either way, and then we can ask around for either topographical maps of the area or interesting places for cave diving, I guess.
I mean, yeah, I could. The island's not supposed to be that big. I reckon I could
Yeah.
probably do a good swim round it in like a day or two.
Yeah, and I think last time I did like a map related thing. It was something like it was like one half of the island was very much cornered off by the knolls, right? It was almost like a barrier, it was almost like a hub.
You should
So-
still have the map that you like in the picture. You should still have that picture I popped into a thing.
Where did you pop it?
It was originally in the Skype chat.
Have a quick look. There's loads of memes, so I need to go back. Which Skype chat would it have been in? Because isn't this a new one?
Well, I was kind
Well,
of
if you
banking
go
on
to
you.
chat, it's got like
saving the
all of our
image.
old stuff.
Hold on, I've got this. Theros campaign.
There is a lot of memes.
Sorry.
We're a serious group.
Clearly.
That can't possibly be right.
Either way, it seems
Moment,
smart
please.
that we get to the island and go from there.
Images and files. Cool. So you guys have access through JSON to this map.
Cool. Okay. And where are we? Sorry.
You are in the city of Faleron.
Okay. Cool. Nice.
So, in theory, how long would it take me to do a swim of the entire island?
Yeah. What's the thing for each square? Just game wise.
There should be a scale thing at the bottom of that map.
I hope there is. Preview didn't open fully. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, gotcha. All right, nice.
Each square is half a mile by half a mile.
Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. 32. 32 divided by 2. 16 miles. 16 miles divided by.
This attempt at mathematics was brought to you by GCSEs.
Hey, I have very good GCSEs, I will have you know. It's just that I've not used them in a very long time. Okay, so 32 divided by 2 is 16. 16 miles total. What's the average? My swim speed's the same as my walking speed, so how long's like daily travel?
I'm trying to get an idea of how long it would take you to swim around.
Did you say how many miles was it?
16.
16.
A normal day's travel would be 24 miles. Slow,
Alright, I could do
18
it in half a
miles
day.
Or just under a day, yeah.
in a day.
And that's
So-
not close.
Yeah. So that was fast, normal, and slow. So the normal was 30. So slow is if you only moved 20 feet a turn. So assuming you were observing and looking around, and not just simply strolling, but actually looking as well, you'd still be able to cover reasonably 18 miles in a day.
Okay, fair.
For the purposes of simplicity, I'll say it'll take you a day to do a lap of the island.
Okay. Well, looks like my plan's done for the day. Why don't you, I don't know, ask around or something while I go on my swim?
With all due respect, if you're going to spend the day away from us in an uncharted area, there's no one else saying that there's a possibility that we might lose touch with Eslan.
I have sending, and I can also blink away from danger if needed be.
Would you be able to blink back to us?
Not quite, but probably out of danger.
My swimming speed is 60 feet.
Damn.
Oh.
I mean, just opened it
How?
up. And, I don't know. I just clicked on.
Why is your
walking
swimming
speed.
speed better than mine?
Try to.
So I just clicked on walking speed. My walking speed is 35. My swimming is 60.
The fuck?
What the fuck? What is going on?
I mean,
you got
I'm also expecting that's probably wrong. But
No, that's right.
Well, fuck. Okay. I am capable of traveling.
I'm just gonna say it because you guys would remember it. Your characters at least would remember it. Cloak of the Manta Ray.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what's doing it. I was like, what the fuck is this? How is that even?
You guys waited a whole week specifically for that item.
That is true. We did.
It's just awesome to see that
I
Devion actually does it.
I forgot that we gave it to Scatinas. I thought we gave it to
me too.
Fly.
So I'm just
No, that was a different cloak.
I'm just sat over and then sort of like look down and go, oh, I can probably get. And then as I realise I'm wearing it, I will say, oh, I can also breathe underwater with this as well. I can accompany Eslin. so she will not be on her own.
Okay. So we can leave the three most uncharismatic, intimidating people to do the
I think
investigation.
you'll find that Calliope is a bard.
Hello.
Yeah, she's a bard, but she's also a face, and she's also has a habit of punching people. This is Alex speaking, not the character.
I think it works both IC and OOC.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just before you go, just like, is it really a good idea to have Calliope as our face?
Well, you keep saying that I'm not like very good at it, so
What were you just saying to the Oracle a few moments ago?
I
Really?
love like children. It's my favourite pastime.
Ah. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, let's jump overboard before this conversation gets any more awkward.
Indeed.
We will
Spadoosh.
we will reconvene somewhere. We'll find you.
Okay.
Sploosh.
Alright, you two dive into the ocean. So we'll start within your part then. Which direction around the island are you guys choosing to go?
Clockwise.
So, north.
Yeah.
Alright. You set off at a pace. Cool. An hour goes by. You pass through a couple of reefs at some point. They're pretty.
I'll ask Otinus if he's ever seen anything like this before. Just while we're going. I think you could talk underwater with that though, right?
You have underwater breathing.
Oh, okay. I think I still do that initially, just to be a dick. Okay. I know rivers and gentle grassland are more my thing, but it's nice.
Okay.
I will.
By the end of the hour, you've reached where the lagoon is.
Let's get this. Where is the bloody map? There it is.
Lagoon.
Memes.
Lagoon?
Memes.
Sorry.
No, I've got the meme open. I've got the map open.
So
Yeah,
we
that little
came
In a lake that connects to the sea.
Yeah.
So we. What point of the map did we arrive at? Did we arrive at the fort, or did we arrive?
You arrived at Faleron.
Oh, okay, yeah. So we've actually got a ways to go. Oh, so we're going anti-clockwise then. Cool. Okay,
Sorry, I did that wrong.
that's all good. We will go anti-clockwise. It will.
No, you can go clockwise. It's easy enough to reckon. Up to you.
Nah. Will. I'm interested in this thing. I would like to head into the lagoon.
Okay.
Both
I'll
look
go with him.
underneath and just see if there's anything that kind of looks particularly odd. In fact, if I am capable of water breathing, I can also cast spells, I imagine, as well. I will, just in case there's any issue, I will sort of like, with my teeth, sort of like prick my thumb, and then sort of like smear, like as the water's starting to coagulate a little bit in the water, I will sort of dab my eyes and cast dark vision, so that I can still see clearly, even if I get to the bottom of the lake. I'll kind of just like do a scour of the bottom, as well as then when we get up, just to see if there's anything interesting along sort of like not the beach of the lagoon, but just like the surface.
Make an investigation check.
First roll of the night, 16 plus 1, total 17.
It is a beautiful lagoon. It's surrounded by very high rocky walls that seem to circle all the way around. There's a little bit of sand, but that's actually quite deep down, and it's actually mainly staggered rocks. Like, if you were to you get the sense that if you could somehow, like, zoom your vision all the way out, this would look like a loose collection of stones, the inside of this lagoon, but where you are when it's to scale, they're enormous boulders. And you're able to swim down a good 100 feet to the bottom of this lagoon. In terms of, you find a few different species of fish you've certainly never seen before. Fragments of vases or flotsam that have long since sunk to the bottom. Nothing really catches your eye. Everything looks like a lagoon.
Okay. I'll swim back up and either regroup with Eslin or let Eslin take point for where we explore next.
Like, I assume that we're checking, like, above the water mainly for the, like, cave, I guess.
I went quite deep to see if there was anything underwater.
Okay, alrighty.
But I haven't checked in depth. Also, I haven't checked the surface, or sort of like if there's any caves near the surface.
So, with the way you've swum so far, so you left the town of Faleron, which it's a twinned town in a sense. There's the more shanty-like town that's on the mainland of the island, which is a collection of more smattered together houses that form the smaller polis. Across a long stone footbridge, there is a massive, that beautiful white citadel that you saw before. Swimming northwards, you've passed by these very shallow pools that span across a rocky plain that is the beach of this island. You see, it's almost like a rice paddy kind of situation. You see a lot of different workers of various races and ages in the process of ankle-deep wading and busying themselves with work, reaching into these pools. And something that hits you as well when you pass by this area is, like, the smell is terrible.
Okay.
Particularly when you pass by a couple of the larger buildings, which you gather maybe some of the refineries for the snail into the dye. It smells
Pungent.
awful. Yeah, it's quite pungent. Passing these quote-unquote rocky snail rice fields, at this point you're getting into more of a forested, lush terrain, and that's sort of what surrounds the lagoon as well when you go sort of further back beyond the rocks.
Okay. Alrighty. I don't think if we were looking for anything it would be here anyway, so...
Make a perception check. Sorry, make a perception check for when you've passed around.
Okay. That's a 9 plus 7, 16.
It's hard to make out anything beyond the immediate shoreline. You've not seen anything that alludes to a cave or anything like that. You saw one or two grottos and you swam into them and then there wasn't really anything there. They just kind of went back maybe 10 feet or so. One of them had an octopus in it. It was pretty. But nothing that fits the description of what you're looking for have you seen so far.
Alrighty, wonderful. Okay.
Alright. You guys continue swimming?
Yep.
Very well. Set about. Eslin, go ahead and make another perception check then.
Okay. A natural 20 plus 7?
Alright, fantastic.
Not bad, not bad.
I know.
So, you, Eslin, grew up in the sea, so you are right at home and you have learned to, you're very familiar, this is very much your terrain. Which is why it's easy enough for you to notice a large dark shape that's coursing through the water.
Does it appear to be an immediate threat to us?
You can't quite make out what it is yet, but it does appear to be getting a little bit larger.
Scatinos! Don't, like, panic now, but, just keep an eye out.
What do you think? What is it?
Is it
Shark?
getting closer?
It is.
Is it coming towards us? Like,
Yep.
yeah? Cool.
Shark? Can I see? I'm now with the. I'm looking out to see what it is that's.
Make a perception check.
Seven.
Hard to tell this a distance.
What? What is it?
You know, your eyes haven't gotten used to the, despite your, dark vision, your eyes haven't got used to the blurriness of the water, so you're just acclimatizing to that.
Okay, maybe we should make for land for now, and then come back once that thing has gone past.
What thing? Point. Show
I'll
me.
point in its general direction.
And as you point in its general direction, you can make out the beginnings of a dorsal fin.
Please be a doll. Oh, I can talk to animals. I can talk to thingies. I can talk to underwater creatures.
If that's a shark, I can try and distract it.
And the glisten of 6 rows of teeth.
Hi, friend, friend.
Right. Okay. This isn't gonna go well. Does it look like she's panicking, or does it look like they have a plan?
No, I'm not panicking. I'm
Okay.
just gonna talk to it.
All
I
right,
can
I'll let you do
communicate
that.
simple ideas with beasts that breathe water.
Can
Friend?
you infer back?
I could if I'd cast send in, but I don't want to cast send in. But I would be able to. I guess I could make a perception check to see if it, like.
Yeah, go ahead and make an
seconds.
insight check.
So I'll be like, friend. Oh, that's a natural 1, but plus a 7, so an 8.
You
The
know,
dice
you
giveth
see,
and the dice taketh away.
you're pretty confident its demeanor has softened a little bit.
All good.
Alright.
And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I bet I could just scritch him under the chin.
Let's go. If it's
Yeah, I'm
soft,
just gonna keep going. Like, you're cute, but you weren't that cute. Let's keep going.
Cool. You guys swim along. It casually swims closer to you guys.
are there any other creatures, big or small, nearby?
Make a perception check.
It's 21 total.
Nice.
You see a smattering of other little fish. The common species you've seen around here are these sort of pale, sandy-colored fish that have a single black dot where sort of just before the thin part of their tail is.
Okay. What's the... Okay. How close is the largest one of these fish?
It's about 20 feet away from you.
Lovely. Okay. Well, sorry, fishy. To attempt to create some form of distraction, I am going to cast Gore Spike at the fish.
Alright,
It needs to make a Constitution saving throw 15.
I don't think I have the stat block for a fish, but let's find
Wow.
out. Let's just use a rabbit. Which I don't have either. Fuck it, let's just do a straight roll. That's cocked. That is a 5. No.
Cool. It
Don't
takes-
even bother rolling damage. It's probably got
5.
a hit point,
Lovely.
maybe 2.
That's fine. In which case, with that the fish is kind of like its insides kind of like wrenched out, or like the blood from its inside sort of wrenched out. I'm then going to, depending on if we have the time or not. I don't think we have the time for it. Fuck, I'm gonna use sorcery points before we even get
It
into
is about 50 feet away from you at this point.
Alright, well, what I'm going to cast then is I'm casting Hemokinesis on the area of liquid blood that has been pulled out of the fish. And I'm going to do the following way. I cause the blood to bubble and froth, creating a strong scent of blood in the air. This smell reaches 60 feet out in all directions and from the blood and lasts for 1 hour.
Okay. So yeah, the fish almost pops like a balloon underwater, and then just this red cloud apparates outwards. It is a fish. It didn't have a whole lot of blood in it, so it's an area about this big is what it can do. Let me see.
My hope is if it's a shark and it's attracted by blood, there's plenty of blood, and we can now swim away and it's distracted by the blood. Because I don't know whether or not its eyesight is strong or not.
I'm gonna roll a wisdom saving throw for the shark. What's your spell save DC?
15.
It rolled a natural 16, so it just succeeds.
Never mind.
It is still gunning for you guys. It is going to... Yeah, at this point, we will need to roll for initiative.
Okay.
Sorry, Aslan. I tried. I was like, I've got it. 16.
Thank you guys. Been so well behaved today.
Yeah, against his 5. Okay, cool. So, Eslin, you're going first.
Good question. What do I do? What do I do? I've got some race shit that I could use. Can sharks breathe out of water, like, for a little bit? Or would they just, like... Okay, interesting. Alrighty.
If you do what I think you're going to do, I will rate you out of game so highly for it.
I don't know if I have the thing to do it, but...
You'd need, like, a telekinesis spell at the very least.
Well, no, I was thinking about, Gust of Wind.
This is a 25-foot shark. It's gonna have to be a big fucking gust of wind.
Does that also mean that if you're running out of air, you can cast Gust of Wind at someone and they can take a breath of air?
In theory.
Let's test this.
I did try that before when we were in a Trask once, but it was blood, so it didn't count. So... Oh, I'm so bad at this today. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to figure out what the shook I should do to the shark. Okay.
It's alright. Okay. I wasn't thinking about the same thing, so it's okay.
Okay. What were you thinking, out of interest?
I thought you had water walk, so I thought you were going to literally just like shoot it up to the surface.
I do have water walk.
Oh.
But I won't do it because that would be
I was going to say.
Does water walk require a willing target?
I think it requires a humanoid as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I'll roleplay faster for guidance if I need to.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna do guiding bolt at 2nd level, I think.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Oh, 10 plus 7.
That hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yay. 16 points of damage.
Very
Radiant.
nice. You fire a bolt of your aquamarine-colored bolt of blue energy that courses through the water like a torpedo, and it's compared to the radiant burst you hear previously, it's kind of muted underwater, like boom. But a burst of cyan sparkles filled the water, and now he's surrounded in a light blue aura.
Yeah, fuck you, shark.
Scotinos, your turn.
disappointed that my first attempt did not work. I'll redirect my attention to the creature itself, and with my hand outstretched, I'll kind of like make a little tickling motion as I cast Blood Boil. Upon the
Saving
shark.
throw?
Saving throw, Constitution.
21.
It succeeds, and I don't think there's anything. No, it completely deflects it. In which case, I use my movement speed of 60 feet to get out, get some distance away.
Cool. And you unfurl your manta cloak and boom, like a mighty wing beat, not dissimilar to the rock who you've met previously, and you just blast backwards 60 feet through the water. On the shark's turn, it's going to close the gap 50 feet towards you, Eslin. You're the nearest target, and it's going to take a bite. Does a 22 hit?
22 does hit. Don't like how many dice you're picking up.
You take 22 points of piercing damage.
Yo.
As the giant shark sinks its giant maw around you.
Wrath of the Storm, please. Thank you.
Cool. Con save, right?
It is. Hang on. Dex.
Oh, 9.
Fail.
Okay, how much damage does he take?
2d8. Bear with. That's a 13. Nice.
Okay. That definitely wounded him. He's got fight in him, but that between the Guiding Bolt and Wrath of the Storm, that took a chunk.
Yay.
Alright, top of the round, it is your turn again, Eslin.
Okay. So first thing is I'm gonna communicate obviously that I'm fucking fuming. And tell him to fuck off in, the nicest way possible. Not in the nicest way possible, just for clarity.
He
should
will
also
come to the
be
conclusion that
pretend-
he just almost bit your legs off and you are bleeding quite profusely into the water around him, so he's kind of going into a blood frenzy at this point.
Okay. Alright, bonus action. I will give myself a bit of healing. Which should be a level 1 healing word, I think, on myself.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
It's not great, but it's a summit. So that's a 6. And then I'm gonna smash it with my mace.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll with advantage because of Guiding Bolt.
Oh, well, I got a natural 20 anyway.
Nice.
These dice do be liking me. The other one was a 7. Just for. So that is 5 times by 2 plus 3, 13.
Fantastic. Yeah, the sight. So 13, and that was doubled.
Yeah, because it's a d6, so it was 5
right, yes.
3. So 5 times by 2 is 10. 10 plus 3 is 13.
Cool. So yeah, the sight of your exposed tibia as it's rent your thigh muscles apart with its massive maw triggers your fight or flight response, and it opts on to fight, and you just eyes begin to glow light blue again, and you scrape a portion of flesh off by raking your mace across its side. Alright, Squizzy, now it's your turn.
I'm going to use the cape to kind of flap myself back 60 feet into the
So you're
fray
120
again.
feet away. Oh, sorry.
No,
into
going
the fray.
forwards, back into it.
problem.
And I'm going to, as I do so, I am casting into it. So I'm going to use 2 sorcery points. And I find them, that they are. I'm going to use 2 sorcery points to cast one spell as a bonus action, and I'm going to cast Poison Spray in 2 bursts into both sets of gills on the to the left and right of its head.
Okie dokie. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
It's just a con saving throw on both.
Right. Did you twin spell poison spray?
It's not twin spelled. What I've done is I've cast poison spray, but I've used 2 sorcery points to cast it as a bonus action. I've then
Right. Sorry. So you
used my
said 2
action.
saving throws.
Yes, because I'm casting poison spray twice. One with my bonus action and one with my action.
Dahoy. Sorry.
No
So
worries.
that is a 21 on the first one,
That succeeds.
and a 13 on the second one.
It fails
Sorry,
the
12
second
on the
one,
second one. Cool.
and it takes, oh boy, 19 points of poison damage.
Shit. Very well. Yeah, releasing these toxins that just seep through the water from your hands, they go into its gills and it thrashes about wildly, clearly in pain. The veins around its gills go black. It looks at you with rage.
I blow it a kiss underwater. Which actually, I blow it a fish kiss underwater, so I probably have to do the whole puckered lip and go.
It will make an attack against you now, Skotinos.
Surprisingly,
You have all your hit points, yes?
I do.
Okay.
You're saying I don't anymore.
Well, A, yes, but B, it does have the Blood Frenzy ability, so it has advantage on creatures that don't have all their hit points.
Ah, no, I have all my hit points. Yes.
In any case, does a 25 hit?
I'm afraid it does.
Alright. Okay, that one's a 1. So I didn't roll 3 10s, I rolled 2 10s and a 1.
It's all good. 21. Okay, so I'm going.
Sorry, 27.
27. Okay, I'm going to use Unscarred Resilience. Roll myself a d12.
I can hear Teddy's nervousness in the
Okay.
background.
I will print screen. I did indeed roll that 12. I'll pop that in so people know it's true. I did roll a 12, so 12 plus Constitution.
That
12.
was not me.
So I reduce the damage by 15.
Very nice.
What's that come down to?
27 minus 15 is 12.
Okay, and then I'm going to use my reaction because that doesn't actually use. Unscarred Resilience is just a thing. I'm then going to use my reaction and use the ability called Bleed Magic. Because what type of damage did I take, by the way?
Piercing.
Good, that's right. I took some piercing damage. I can spend 2 sorcery points, and I can use my reaction, which I haven't used yet. I've used bonus action. I've used that. I can use reaction to cast 1 spell that would normally require an action. Or bonus action to cast. I have already cast spells, so I have to only use a cantrip. So I will cast another poison spray.
Okay.
As I sort of yell out
17?
in pain. Bastard! Yes, it succeeds.
You get the sense that this is a really tough cookie.
It's a shark. It was going to be high con.
So yeah, it buries its teeth into your chest, but you think to yourself, you're trying to make me bleed? I am the king of bleeding, and as it removes its teeth, like, you just don't bleed as much as one would expect you to in this situation, and the flesh is pierced all the same, but less life seeps out of you than one would expect. Alright, top of the round, Eslan.
How damaged are you?
I took 12 points of damage. I am effectively 3/4 of my health.
Okay, cool. I did not bring battle spells today. Guiding bolt at 3rd level.
Okay, make an attack at disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
It's within 5 feet of you.
He's in 5 feet of me. I thought he went to attack Scatinos.
I went straight
And
next to him.
Scatinos is for within 5 feet of you too.
Okay then. Can I not do that then?
Sure.
Cool. Oh, it wouldn't Wrath of the Storm have pushed him 10 feet back away from me though?
So, oh, does it do that? I always forget it does
Yeah.
that. Yes, yes. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
In that case,
can,
yeah.
can I
by
try?
all
Can I
means.
try Guiding Bolt again then?
By all means.
Would that be disadvantage? Cool. Alright. Okay.
Not within
Fab.
10 feet. Not if he's beyond 10 feet.
Okay. Fab. So that's 16 plus 7.
Scatinos will
23.
say you moved on your turn to do that. Yeah. Sorry, say that again, Eslin.
23 to hit.
23 definitely does hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Once again.
Oh. A lot of 1s and 2s, but 18.
18. Another divine blast of aquamarine light sears a massive scar across this thing's hide, and it's looking quite rough.
It's not dead though. Okay. Cool.
18 total, you said?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Scatinos, your turn. Unless, sorry, Eslin had anything else.
Nope. I got fuck all.
Alright.
I've got to go all out for this fucking fish.
No.
I'm gonna sort of like, rather not even needing to use my like, I've sort of like reached into my chest and kind of like pull at the sort of like almost like dig at the wound that's been left on by the shark, and sort of like tug on it slightly so a bit more of the blood seeps into the water, and I will charge that into a casting of blood extraction, and I will create the orb of blood extraction in such a way that only the shark is in the sphere and not
Easy
Eslin.
enough to do.
And I will also use 2 sorcery points. So I've only got 1 left after this to cast that as a bonus action. The damage it takes at the end of the turn, which I can give, will be. It will need to. So it's going to do that, but I also then will, for my action, cast poison spray again. So I've done that, and I go with my other hand, sort of like throw some more. So 2 Constitution saving throws.
17 on the poison spray.
That passes, and then on the blood extraction.
20.
Okay, so it only takes half of this.
Sorry, 19 on the poison spray, but yeah.
Yep. So it would be 3d6 or 3d12, depending on if it's above or below half hit points.
It's 3d12.
3d12 it is.
You would be able to visually see that on him, so I'll say so.
That's not bad. That's a 10 and a 10 and a 1, so that would have been 21 points of necrotic damage. It is halved to 10, 11, 10.
Cool. Alright. Yeah, you just release a pulsing wave of crimson mist that travels through the water, and it seems to feed off of the blood that the shark is bleeding and suck it out of him as well. This shark's looking gaunt at this point. It's not looking too good. On its turn, it's gonna decide that it can find food elsewhere, turn around, and dash its full 100 feet of dash movement.
I would like to use my reaction as Warcaster to cast a spell at the creature.
Go ahead.
And I am going to cast. Let's see if I got it right. Just fuck this fish. Do I want to do another poison spray, or do I want to try and stop it from escaping? I don't like this fucking fish. I'm going to cast Blood
Right.
Boil instead.
Okay.
So, same Constitution saving throw.
Oh. 10.
Okay, it fails, so it takes 2d4 necrotic damage, which doesn't seem a great deal. However, that's 7, so it takes 7 necrotic damage.
Okay.
And its movement speed is halved as it is poisoned. It also has
Very well.
disadvantage on saving throws to maintain concentration.
Very well. Eslin, what would you like to do on your turn?
Oh, so is it coming past me as it goes past, or?
No, it's going away from you because you were 10 feet away from it, so it's swimming away from you guys.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Actually, let me switch. Sorry, I got something more appropriate.
Duh, 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 duh.
Nope, but I do have. Yeah, you guys hear that?
Not yet. It's not coming through just yet.
We'll hear it eventually, I'm sure. Oh, yes, there we go.
I forgot I had that, and I'm kicking myself for it. So yeah, Esmond, it is 100 feet away from you.
I'll do a first level guiding bolt, just cause.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll.
18 plus 7, 25
18
total.
does hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
12 points of damage. Not great,
It's looking really rough.
but next one, hit it hard.
On its turn, it's gonna dash. Movement speed's halved.
Or do
Man,
I
Blood
still
Boil?
do I still get my turn after Eslin's?
Oh, sorry. I thought your turn was before Eslin's.
Nope,
Sorry,
I'm
no, I
after
did that
Eslin's.
wrong.
That's
No,
right.
yeah,
no,
okay, because that was Warcaster. Yeah, you do get your turn.
Yeah, in terms of Blood Boil, it doesn't actually say when you can take until poison until the end of my next turn. Or the spell
okay,
ends.
that makes
So
more sense.
after this, it will be able to carry because it's only a cantrip. However, I'm going to nil this fucking fish. I'm grimacing a little bit now. I'm definitely feeling the pain more as I kind of reach in with my hand, and I definitely dig a bit deeper than I should. I can definitely feel as I kind of like retch out, and I'm going to cast Blood Extraction again, which means concentration drops on the first orb. I'm going to cast the orb basically so that the direction the shark is running, it's in the very tip. It's like it's just entered it as a result of it, so you'd have to turn around and go another way to do it. And it needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
18.
It only takes half damage, but it takes. I've rolled that wrong. It's not the. It needs to be the 3d12 ones. So if it's half, it takes. What's half of 17? I don't know. It would have been 17 necrotic damage. I've gone blind.
Okay, so that is
8.5 to
Yeah.
8.
It's looking on death's door. It's really rough.
If I had another sorcery point, I would have used it. But I've only got
It is its turn now. So wait, does the
one. Poison ends now, so it does have its full movement.
does the bubble thing, does that
It still continues. However, it only does the damage at the end of my turn.
okay.
Oh, actually, let me confirm that. Let me just make sure I have. At the end of each of your turns until the spell ends, each creature other than you within 20 feet of the orb. So it's and so if it's within 20 feet of the orb at the end of my next turn, it would take the damage again.
It's got an intelligence of 1, so it's just gonna swim through the orb because it doesn't know better. So it will dash its full movement, which is 100 feet, through the orb. So it is 80 feet away from the orb. And at this point, I can choose to end combat if you guys wish, with it barely
No.
escaping. Or...
No.
Alright. So it is
I
now
wanted-
200 feet away from you.
It dashes 80. It dashes 80 feet.
It dashed 100 feet.
Fucker. Okay.
So it's now 200 feet away, because it... Sorry, no, it dashed... It's 250 feet away.
How? Fuck.
So it dashed away from you guys.
Yes.
Then it dashed again whilst it was
But
slowed. That's
it only
150.
had half its movement the first time.
No, it had half its movement on the second time. This is the third time it's dashing.
Oh, right.
So yeah, it's 250 feet away from you, because I don't recall you saying you were moving at all.
No, that's fine. Okay, then in which case, there's no hope of me being able to catch that fucking fish. Wait, 250? No. I'd need to be within 120 feet to be able to do something to it. Fine. Fuck you, fish.
Alright. It swims away, terrified at the mean little fucking sea creatures it ran into, that it thought it was going to make a quick, easy meal of, but you guys take a moment to recuperate and recover, and combat appears to be over. Scene transition. Oh, sorry. Hope that wasn't too loud. So we'll do a scene wipe at this point. What are you guys doing back in town? So this is 2 hours earlier, as they used to watch them swim away.
Well, if they've just jumped off, it doesn't really... I hope nothing bad happens to them. Okay. What's the plan of action then? Where do we want to go first?
Right, so what kind of information were we trying to gather?
So, we're mainly just trying to find information about a potential place on this island that we can go to find the thing that Dax is asking for, right?
Oh, the yeah, shall we head into town?
After you. Let's see what we can find.
Alright. You walk through these streets, and this particular town, at least the part that's separate from the Citadel, is definitely closer to, for what you, Calliope and Amalia, would remember as Kefalis. The small town on Kefalis, as opposed to something grand like Melodies. This is definitely more of a ramshackle operation. There are definitely a few official buildings which look a bit bigger and grander, but it's all relative. This does seem like a bit of a shanty town, so to speak.
Okay.
Are you looking for anything in particular?
Just for the moment, just trying to get a little bit of a vibe of the town. Is anyone looking at us weirdly? Is there a lot of people?
Make a perception check.
Uh, 15 plus 8, 23.
23. You don't catch anyone looking at you especially out of the ordinary. You do tend to draw people's gazes, though, just by nature of your appearance. So there's no stares that would be out of the ordinary. What you do get the sense of is you look around and you see most of the people are wearing fairly drab garb. And the state of the buildings, in a couple cases often as well, it's in a state of disrepair. The only people who look in good condition, the only people who look in like well dressed are the town guards you see every now and then, which are dressed in hoplite gear. So there's a few hoplites every now and then, but like in any situation, they're definitely the fewer elite soldiers. But all the hoplites and the guards have a uniform style and armor style which reminds you of the Meletian one in many respects, but it's certainly got its own appearance to it, and they are draped in purple colors as opposed to the blue of Meletis, or in your case, because you've seen it as well, the red of Akros. Each one of them carries a shield, which has the symbol that you've seen in a few places around here, which is 3 dolphins, 3 purple dolphins on a, 3 silver dolphins on a purple field swimming in a sort of concentric circle.
Can we glean anything from that? Like, would any of us know what that potentially could be or mean?
Go ahead and make a history check.
Yes, sure. Okay. That's cocked. That's a 3. Never mind.
You've no idea. I will say though, you do notice as well, in some places it is represented as 3 dolphins. In other places, it's been simplified as a circle that has 3 sort of tails coming off of it in a curve. If you can sort of imagine what I'm trying to describe.
So like 3 tails kind of diving into something, or?
No, so it's like a circle that's got 3 curved bits coming off.
Oh,
it,
gotcha. Okay.
Like a spinning thing.
Yep.
Like the symbol of a tornado, but with 3 instead of like a bunch.
Cool.
But you get the sense that it's meant to evoke the same thing. It's just a
It's
simplification
like
of the
that.
symbol.
Sure. Okay. Is there any way, kind of like the people that are around, is there anywhere that looks like it could potentially be either a store or a place where most people would hang out or sit?
Make an investigation check.
It's another fucking 3.
I mean, a lot of the buildings look kind of the same over here. You do notice that the bigger buildings are definitely confined to the center of this shantytown. So even within the shantytown, there's a bit of a divide. There's okay-ish houses that are behind a wall that form like this smallish polis. That's where the bigger buildings are, and you've seen a couple people, with stalls there, market stalls, and you gather there might be some shops there. Beyond this wall of the inner polis is a ramshackle shanty town of hovels that stretches along the coastline.
Okay.
At various intervals.
Calliope,
Sorry, 1 second, let me just switch the ambiance back. God damn it, I gotta be on top of this shit. Proceed.
Calliope, if we're able to find someone willing to speak with us, I think you might be the best person to put forward to glean information on where we can mark on the map as potential places of interest or potential places of a no-go zone.
Okay.
That's kind of what I'm looking for. And as a player, that's just me saying that my charisma is shit and I don't want to... I would like that information as best as possible. But yeah, like if we can't see anything, I guess kind of just keep looking around and kind of maybe... You said like it's like there's an internal one where the shanties are a little bit bigger.
So there's an internal one where it's not so much shanty, it looks more town-like. There's proper stone houses.
Sure.
Everything beyond that is more wood and terracotta and lesser materials.
I guess unless anyone
and
wants to do
also
anything else.
haphazardly arranged as opposed to the grid of a city.
Yeah. I guess if anyone else would do anything on the outskirts or kind of look around in the outskirts for anything, maybe try and head in.
Okay, yeah, easy enough to head inwards. And you sort of have to go a little bit back of the way you came to sort of get back to the inner thing. The port is part of the inner city. But yeah, you're standing amongst these... I mean, it's like a smaller, drabber version of Melitis. A lot of the architecture is fairly universal in that respect. For some of the more ordinary buildings, you don't see too much distinction. So it feels familiar in that sense. Like, a city's a city, especially to someone who's more used to the wilderness. But you can spot a couple places that seem like they have people coming in and out of it.
Any preferences?
Yeah. Are the people going in the buildings, or are they on the street?
There's some people on the street, there's a few people making their way inside a few of the buildings, but there are people on the street if you wanted to just hail someone.
Yeah. Because I am quite dumb, both character and in real life, and I have fucked this up before. What kind of specific information are we after? Do we go straight forward for it? Like, look, this is what we're looking for, or do we hey,
So I would say that mainly my interests are using the map that we have to try and mark off points of interest and specific. Obviously, the map says places, but places that people might potentially know is go in here prepared, or go in here this might be a place for you to check out. In terms of what we're looking for, because we haven't really got much to go on, it might be a case of not interrogating, but just questioning or having a conversation and seeing what we can kind of glean that might lead us in the right direction.
Cool. Yeah, can I stop the nearest person?
Yeah, easy enough to do. You grab a hold of a youngish man, sort of late 20s situation. He holds his arm kind of. One arm is a bit more ajar, or like on an angle as opposed to the other arm. He's got a short, patchy beard, very short, curly blonde hair. Yes, can I help you?
Hi, we are traveling, me and my group, and we happened across this island. We're quite new, and we was after some information. What are the best places we can visit?
He points down the road. The old Singing Snail Tavern is where most people come visit after they pull into town.
Sorry, that was a what in snail?
The Singing Snail.
Oh,
He thinks for a moment. I mean, sorry, I don't much know in the way of information. Anything fancy like that would be in the Citadel. Maybe talk to a hoplite or something?
okay, will do. Thank you.
Sorry. And he keeps
Can I find a
walking.
hoplite then?
Yeah, easy enough to do. You see them walking about. Takes you maybe a few minutes or so to find one that's specifically a hoplite, as in full plate. But yeah, he's in the process of shelling an oyster. Seems to be kind of in like a half off-duty thing at the moment.
Yeah, same question.
He's got a very large Leonidan type beard, but he's more barrel-chested in that respect. He's kind of like a shorter, wider man. Very thick with muscle, but also got a bit of a belly. Hey, what you want?
The same question.
Ah. Kind of information you looking for?
As you can see, and I point to all the like jewelry on me, I do appreciate the finer things in life. And I was looking to add to my collection. Is there anywhere that I can do that?
I think Omera runs a general store. She might have a few trinkets, and he points down the road to one particular shop that just says Omera's on it. But if you want anything, you know, that matches the splendor of what you're wearing, you'd find that in the Citadel, and if you have to ask, I'm guessing you're not aware that it's invite only and therefore uninvited.
And who do I need to speak to get an invite?
One of the merchant lords that runs Faleron and the Isle of Iska.
I love what?
The Isle of Iska, he says. The island?
Oh, okay, cool.
I mean, he chuckles. Even I'm not allowed on the Citadel.
Well, we'll see about that. Thank you for all the information you've given us. And I
Stay
just give him
safe.
a little wink.
He returns a warm, platonic smile and says, "Stay safe."
Ouch.
So,
Man was in his 50s. He probably has a family.
finding a merchant then.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Would any of us have any natural idea as to where we could potentially find a merchant in a place like this?
Well, I was thinking of going to the trinket shop.
Yeah.
There might be some there.
And because I was thinking like maybe going to the tavern and seeing if anyone knows them, but then I thought maybe one of maybe one of them is an owner of the tavern. I don't know what kind of merchants these guys are.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely worth checking out trinkets.
All right, you head over to the place just called Omera's, and you open the door. Kind of creaky, bit rusty on the hinges. You step inside, and you see it is very much a general store. You know, you see backpacks, climbing equipment, next to a couple weapons even, and then yeah, in one cabinet you see a smattering of different bits and bobs of jewelry. But then you see another like small, like one necklace just hung on a set of crampons, and it's very messy in a sort of cozy kind of way. Behind the booth you see a centaur woman, kind of looks to be about sort of early 20s type situation, and she's just in the process of thumbing through a book. Oh, welcome. How can I be of assistance? Just got off the boat, I take it. Not seen your faces around town before?
Yes, we are new to the isle.
I just give Judgment a little look and like, do you want to take over? I think you're gonna have more luck.
Racist. Yeah. Yeah, with a look like that, yeah, I'll walk forward. Yes, hello.
Hello.
My name is Jason, and we are new here. And I was curious as to looking around. What kind of is this kind of like a jack of all trades kind of store? Like nothing specific to the saying. Okay, cool. And well, we were looking to potentially look around the island and see what we can find. We are
Adventuring sort, I take it.
yes, that very much that.
Well, be careful. You're not the first looking to seek glory by bringing home gnoll scalps.
Yes. Well, we can definitely look after ourselves, but I don't think we'll actively go looking for gnolls. Where would they be? Just so we can avoid them.
Afraid I've not ventured beyond the wall. So
Beyond the wall?
I'm not too familiar with the layout.
Beyond the wall. The DM question, is the wall a physical wall or a metaphorical wall?
You have a map.
So that's sort of like, where is it on the map?
Does the wall have a name?
It is labeled.
I can't see it on mine. Oh, is it the one by the fort?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Right. Okay, that's quite far then. Oh, wow, yeah, so she hasn't really gone that far at all. Okay.
Anything beyond the wall or the mountains sorry, it's one mountain. Anything beyond the wall or the mountain range is strictly out of bounds.
Understood. Well, is there anywhere within bounds that you know of that may be of potential interest to us? Or a place that we should actively avoid going to?
She thinks for a moment. When was the last time I had a look at the. I'm assuming. Would you have pulled out the map to
Yeah, sorry, yeah. So I would have
Okay.
been
Yeah.
like, oh, here's the thing, here's the thing. Like, there's only places.
This actually helps a lot. Well, if this says Hyde City, that would be the fortification of the Knolls.
Understood.
They a bit of a presence, unfortunately. Every now and then, the forces of the island muster together and sometimes even pull in extra reinforcements from the mainland police to try and flush them out, and it's always a massacre, but they seem to just come back. At this point, I think they're just going to write off that side of the island forever. It's easier to just shore up this side than it is to keep expending resources and lives on a problem that won't seem to go away. Yes.
If the problem was to go away, I'm assuming that would just free up the island for everyone here to live a bit less cramped, kind of looking around. I'm trying to be polite in saying it.
I suppose so. There's room enough in the city, but the mood, I believe, has changed. The morale has the spirit of the island has never quite been the same. It's more we're not flourishing anymore between you and me. We're simply resisting.
Yeah, I know that feeling. In regards to the mountain, do you know of any paths potentially through or over it, or is it very much a treacherous journey if one was to venture towards the mount?
This side of the mount, our side, so to speak, the eastern side, if I'm looking at this correctly, it's no more dangerous than anywhere else on this side of the island, which, aside from the occasional wild animal, nothing too serious, wouldn't be any different. I mean, I haven't strayed too far, admittedly, but if you're okay with, I think at worst, a couple cave lions, then this side of the island is relatively kept safe.
Okay.
I can't speak for the other side of the mountain, but best I can advise, the observatory was placed at the very top of the peak. If nothing else, it could afford you a decent view of everything around the island.
Thank you. We definitely will try to visit. Girls, anything you want to particularly ask?
No, not very good. Are we good?
Walia?
I'm good.
Oh shit! What? Looking for the item. Did you ask that?
Oh, that was my indication. Is if you want to ask anything specific about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So ask about the crown thingy. I did.
Your hair is very pretty.
Who? Me, Jason, or Amalia?
I'm guessing you.
Calliope.
What? I gotta know. Oh, thank you.
So, what was your question, Calliope?
About the crown. Yeah, I give as much as a description I can muster, and just ask if I've seen anything close or resembling to that.
Are you talking of a coronal wreath? A laurel wreath?
Is that the name? Sure.
The king of the city wears one.
Hmm.
Ah. Anyone else? Any princesses? Um, anyone else that might be wearing something similar? Or is it just the one?
I've never seen any of the prince or princesses at all, to be honest. I don't know what kind of headwear they wear. What is this about?
Oh, I just enjoy looking at jewelry, and I was looking to get one made, so I'm just trying to get more information, and just so I can explain to my local jeweler.
So the one you described to him that you saw that Daxos had little bits of so it was golden. It was seemed to be made out of gold leaves, and had little silver seashells dotted throughout it, as well as little silver discs that had a sun emblem on them. That is what you would have described to this woman here. I've seen a few paintings of the king, and his crown doesn't look like that.
Huh. Okay. Well, cool.
Tavern?
I think we might need to get a different opinion.
Yeah, maybe it's worth checking out the tavern. Oh, before we go, it seems you have a lot of hunting and fishing tools here.
Yes.
Just out of curiosity, if people were to go swimming in the surrounding oceans or such, what could they maybe find in the waters? Anything to be nervous about or prepared for?
I've heard tell of the odd shark attack.
Uh-oh.
So just sharks.
There may be other things, but I'm sorry, I wouldn't know. I just run the shop.
That's okay. I just wanted to know how worried we should be. Well, thank you very much. Can I get your name?
Lyra.
Lyra. Beautiful name.
Thank you.
Well, I think that's all we've got time for today.
Best of luck on your journey.
Thank you very much. We'll sure we'll be back if we need stuff and things.
Thank you, bye.
Bye-bye.
Let's go. They've been attacked. I'm sure of it.
Yeah. Can we make an insight check on ourselves to see if we think that they've been attacked?
No. That is metagaming,
well,
and I will not allow it.
Well, if they... I'm sure that they will be able to handle themselves, especially with Scatinos and his blood stuff.
Also, if they were in a jam, I'm pretty sure Eskin would have probably sent us something like help. I'm dying.
Or maybe she's incapacitated.
Okay, all right.
I'm sure they're fine.
That's okay. Negative thinking. Let's go to the tavern and see if we can talk to anyone else.
All right. We'll at this point cut to back to Eslin and Scotinos.
This is going really, really well.
Yeah, agreed. Are you still very injured? I am.
I am harmed, but a brief rest and I could continue.
Okay.
Unless you wish to heal me and then we continue.
Yeah. Let's see how well we do. I'll cure wounds first level. Oh no, that was not good. 1 + 4, 5.
3, 4, 5. It's alright, I'm 37 out of 34. I'm doing better.
Yeah, I need to boost myself as well, to be fair, because I'm like 35 out of 51. Healing word, 2nd level for myself. Okay, 11. With a nice big fat fucking 1 in there.
Okie dokie.
Alrighty.
You release the glow of warm blue light, and your wounds close up just a bit.
Okay, anything else happens, maybe take to... We only got to, like, this little lagoon bit, didn't we? We're not very
Yep.
far. Cool. Fuck sharks. Right, let's go.
We continue anti-clockwise around the island. And I compose my latest aria. And it goes something along the lines of, fuck you little fishy, Iska little fishy, fuck that little fishy fish, I hope you die.
Next hour passes by. Pass by another reef.
We will continue. Yeah, we'll continue. Yeah,
sorry.
we will continue, and we'll investigate anything that could be potentially like an entrance or a cave, so we can kind of like get an idea for what is around.
Make an investigation check. It's going to be a high DC if you're making it for the whole of the square.
Well, that's a 6.
You've been traveling a while now, it's starting to look all the same a little bit. You're also a bit shaken from the experience, and you see a couple sharks at one point, but they're like regular sized one, and they seem to just be swimming about. They're often the way a bit deeper into the ocean. You keep your distance and don't really pay too much mind. Excuse me, sorry. You continue to swim. At this point, you've approached the section where, at the end of the hour, say, yeah, roughly to where the mountains start, so that point.
Okay.
But yeah, as you swim through all that, nothing really catches your eye. As you keep swimming along, we'll say about 15 minutes into the next section of it, you notice a difference in the island. Having cleared the mountains at this point, you see the other side, and it's stark, almost alarmingly so. Where one side of the island was lush forest and field, the other is stripped bare of vegetation. It is arid badland.
Okay. This is fine, right? This is fine. Right?
I don't see any risk. Well, we weren't planning to travel along the land itself. If we keep to the
True.
water, do you imagine we'll still be safe?
I imagine
you
a
keep
lot
swimming
of
along.
things.
You keep swimming along. It's out of character. Elements of it would remind you of somewhere like the Red Rocks or like at Phoenix, Arizona, or that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But rather than that kind of specific red rock, it's more the Mediterranean style of red rock, which I'll just send a stock image to you guys to get the idea. So it's you get the sense now. It starts to click for you what Daxos meant by the picture in terms of the shape of the stones on that cave. Even the big boulders seem to look like they're made out of smaller rocks piled on top of each other.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. Well, I think if we're going to find anything, it definitely is going to be this side of the island. Let's just hope there's no more sharks. And if there are any more sharks, that they're accommodating and will listen to me when I'm like, go away.
I have in your abilities.
Oh, you can talk to fish too?
Hmm?
That's cool.
All right. You start to pass the mountains at this point. That's cocked. Largely uneventful. Continue to swim along. By the end of the hour, you start to see buildings all clustered together. You had seen the beginnings of a second polis on this island as you were swimming closer towards it, and you're finally cresting the very tip of the island and are in the waters surrounding the polis.
Do they seem like the people? Is it people on shore?
Make a perception check.
A 1 + 7. So
Uh,
8.
You don't see any people.
We're doing great with our rolls.
No, the thing is, it's either natural 1s or natural 20s. I might
know.
refresh because
It's
my
mins
dice
and
are
maxes.
just.
That's the life.
D&D Beyond can be
Fail
so
or
fun
succeed
sometimes.
spectacularly. There is no bit.
Oh, meant to ask as well, how close to the coast are you guys?
I would have imagined that we were fairly close because we're trying to spot
Cool.
entrances to the caves.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
We are within harpooning distance.
Okay, good to know. Thank you for saying it so I didn't have to.
Do you feel it's wide? Shall we give this bit a wider berth? Do you think?
Until my eyes adjust to the light, I'd guess so.
So as we travel round coasts of Mima, we're going to probably give a much wider berth around that part of the land.
Very
So
well.
avoid the main settlement. Also because if this is supposed to be like a never seen or never discovered cave, it's not going to it's less likely to be under everyone's noses like
yeah,
that.
true.
Cool. You continue to swim, but another half an hour passes by. You stick your head out of the water. Go ahead and make another perception check.
Okay. Both of us?
Yeah.
16 + 7, 23.
Ooh, 19 total for me.
Nice. Both of you are able to spot, if you squint and look in the distance on a slightly elevated section of the rocks, you can see what you thought were just different colored rocks at first, but a couple of them are definitely flapping or like shaking slightly in the wind. It does look like some kind of settlement, and you hear a strange sound echo down from the land.
Is it more like a call or a siren or a...
It's some kind of animalistic yelp. It's like...
Ah,
I'll keep my head out for a brief moment longer to hear if the caller's responded.
It is met a few seconds later by another.
I hate to cut our date short, as it were. I mean, it's been pleasure and pain in equal measure. So sort of like scratching my chest again. But I think we might want to. This is feeling somewhat more dangerous than initially planned.
yeah. Maybe a little
With
further.
a 23 Eslin, I'll say as well, you spot a small amount of movement cresting one of the rocks. and you see a slightly hair-covered silhouette. Just like it's far away, but a hair-covered silhouette crests the rock and seems to just stay there.
You're probably right. You're probably right. You're most definitely right.
Just a heads up, if anyone sent me anything privately on Discord, I don't have Discord open. I don't know what Mosses was doing just now typing, but I just thought I'd throw that out there. Just in
I'm
case.
keeping my own notes, sorry.
Cool, no, just wanted to make sure I didn't want you to not see something you were asking me in private.
That's fine.
Maybe a little further. Maybe just a little bit away from the rocks or anything. I just don't really want our journey to have been wasted, you know?
Alright. You've twisted my arm. Yeah, we'll continue on.
Very well. You guys keep swimming. How long would you keep swimming for before you popped your head up again to make another check?
Well, whereabouts are we on this
You're
map?
in the... the square underneath the square that has the word Kuzmima in it.
Mm.
Okay, so we will probably... I think as we get to... so we say the square underneath the square... So we're about... yeah, I'd say one square down, one square to the left as we kind of crest around that nook.
Very well.
And then again, if we survive at the next nook, as it's like, from that bit 3 squares down. And then maybe underneath the square underneath the word mud.
So you're not continuing just a little bit, you're straight up continuing, alright.
Well, yeah,
I'm game.
Yeah, unless anything goes... Yeah, that seemed uncertain, but if we go any further, we might as well continue to the end, because the time...
That's true, it's going to be equal distance.
At this point...
Plus the fact we know there is a shark the other direction. We know there is a shark waiting for us the other way around.
I'll say as well, just because I keep needing to remember how close to the shore you guys actually are. If you said you're within harpooning distance, then you would have realized that from what you could see, even with the one Eslin, the majority of the buildings of that polis were in some state of crumbled or burned long ago.
Okay.
Okay, but you keep swimming. Another hour passes by. Sun's beginning to... Because it was midday when you guys set out, so it's been about 4 hours. Sun's starting to get a little on the low side.
How is your vision in the dark?
Absolutely perfect. Yours?
Couldn't be better.
Make a deception check.
Well, it's not. I've got dark vision.
Alright.
I cast dark vision, and that gives me 8 hours worth.
Okay. Oh, my back. But, yeah, you continue. Go ahead and make another perception check.
12 plus 7 for a 19.
5!
You do a thorough job of exploring anything even resembling a grotto you see in the waters nearby. You spot a couple caves on the island proper itself. Near the, as you get a bit closer to what you are fairly certain is referred to as the Hyde City.
Mm-hmm.
The grottos you're able to access whilst in the water don't really yield anything.
Okay.
One of them did have a giant octopus, and you swiftly made an exit, not wanting to.
Upsetting.
Alright, you continue to swim for another hour.
Yep.
Go ahead and make another perception check.
17 plus 7 for 24.
18 plus
Okay.
7 for 25.
Nice.
Yeah, no. So you pop your head out of the water at one point, and you do see a roving band of these furred creatures with toughy, pointed ears running around again, and they seem to be bipedal dogs of some description, scrambling about.
Well, we'll not engage with that.
Yep.
You don't spot, and like I said, you don't spot any caves on this particular side of this section that you've traversed.
So really, of all things, the closest hope that we've had might have been Hyde City if we got further on, or at the very north of
Where we
Mount.
couldn't go. Yeah.
Yeah. Sort of the middle north of the island, maybe also, but we'll have to see that further down. Okay, yep, cool, and we'll continue.
All right. Another hour goes by, and at this point, the water noticeably becomes murkier.
Like inky?
No, like muddy.
Good,
and you
good
pop your head
shout
out
there.
And you pop your head out of the water, and you do notice that the where the rocks were has kind of been replaced with this sort of silty, wet, soft landscape. They almost look like really low sand dunes, except they're a much darker, muddier, browner color.
There's nothing anywhere. It won't be here then.
No, I don't think so. Not with, not for what we're looking for, if that makes sense. Let's just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming. What's
You
that
continue
thing
to
in the
swim.
distance?
You approach a large palace on a hill. Clearly in a state of ruin, but it was very obviously something grand a long time ago.
Ooh, that is pretty.
Marble pillars stack on top of each other, tower after tower. Some of them completely caved in, but there's enough of it there to know what it once was.
If you were a king, would you like to be buried close to your palace?
If not in the palace, perhaps check around. Maybe we should check this around here a bit more closely.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Are you checking the waters around, or are you going to get onto land?
Checking the waters around.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and make an investigation check. Separate investigation checks or one with advantage.
I'm not good at investigation.
I have a +1. What do you have?
I have a plus nothing, so you
Then
can.
I will search ahead. Yep, I will search ahead with advantage. And well, I started by rolling a 4, so let's see if I can improve that. 19, that's nice. 19 plus 1 for 20 total.
Very well. You spot a couple grottos around here, but it's a similar situation to before, unfortunately. You explore them. A couple of them do go a bit back inwards, but there's generally a dead end. With a modified 20, though, I'll do say you do find 2 silver drachmi just in the water.
Oh.
You see a glint
Nice.
swim down,
I have
and it's like 2
tripled
silver
my
coins.
total income. Right, okay. Well, that's lunch sorted. Yeah, I do agree. I think that this could be a possibility. What was the name of the king?
Oh. I've no recollection.
Good talk.
Yeah.
We best. Yeah, we'll just continue and see how far we get. Yeah, we might as well. I'm starting to get hungry, so I want to get back and eat soon.
Weird.
And if we've not necessarily got a direct next route. However, things of interest that we might want to investigate as a group later on. That palace is definitely very interesting.
Yeah. At least we know which direction might lead us to where we need to go, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't.
I still think the north of the mountains, the very north of the island, maybe near. You know, when we were to the east, though that weird city bit in the hills or whatever it was, maybe because the land seemed to be kind of right in terms of what we were looking for.
Yeah. No, I agree. You're right.
I suppose we should have had you casting locate object.
Oh, yeah. But also, didn't really fancy us both dying out here in case we got attacked. So, maybe when we, once we're all together, yeah, definitely, 100%.
We will continue on.
Let me just check once the thing. Cool. Sorry, just calculating what 1,000 feet looks like. Locate object. Sorry, that was just for me. Alright, you swim beyond the palace. At this point, you start to see the odd tree again, and you see at this particular section of the mountains, just beyond the rivers that go through the mudflats, there is a section of forest beyond the mountains and the wall that you can see in the distance. It seems to be like this little inlet of the river. You can't see too far ahead because you can't see a mile away at this elevation too well, but you do see these rivers that trail to what looks like maybe a lake, and you squint kind of hard. And you remember the map as like, yeah, that's sort of where because the mountain kind of fork at this point. It's one like long mountain that forks on the southernmost side. So you know there's an inlet there. Continuing to swim, you start to see a couple more trees. And then the fort in the distance gets a little closer. And as you pass by, you see a great big stone wall.
Does it like reach into the sea? Is it like stopping us from going anywhere?
Yep. It doesn't stop you from going anywhere, but it does sort of reach a bit into the sea.
Okay.
And you see hundreds of hoplites manning it.
Let's take a super long way around.
Let's
Sorry,
take a
you see
super.
Yeah.
Let's take a super deep dive.
We do.
You know.
Just keep swimming.
Just keep
Alright.
swimming.
Yeah, we'll go.
You guys do a deep dive, avoiding the ballistas. And you start to see lush forest at this point, and I'll say a grand total of 8 hours later, having swum all the way around, if I did the math right, we'll say 8 hours for the purposes of brevity. You swim all the way around. Go ahead and make another perception check for the last stretch of the journey.
Alrighty. Natural 20 plus 7?
Ooh, 19 plus 3 for 22.
You
Oh, wait,
do
no,
see
is that
what looks
right?
like a couple caves
Yeah,
towards the peninsula section of the island, that sort of that southeastern peninsula bit.
Do they have the rocks that we're looking for?
Yeah, they do.
Okay. Interesting. Alrighty.
Swimming up north, you pull in as the sun has set for about 15 minutes now. Golden hour is almost over, and you ride up onto the docks. Getting out of the water. Get up, dust yourselves off, or wring yourselves out. And at this point, we'll cut back to 5 hours earlier, with Jason, Calliope, and Amalia as you head into the Singing Snail Tavern. You step inside, and this is more like the Fancy Peacock than it is the Flowing Goblet. It's definitely a basic tavern. There's a three-toothed man with a really patchy beard that's got like a missing section where the goatee should be. Hi, what can I do for you?
Okay, cool. I guess I'll go.
What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Ha! He laughs at you, Amalia.
Hello. I walk forward. Or clop forward, I guess. How big is the tavern?
Maybe 30 by 30 feet.
Okay, so it's kind of like a regular kind of pub sizes.
Yeah.
Kind of forgot what we asked about. Calliope, are you here or are you on mute?
She's on mute.
Well, as in, okay. As in, like, I don't know if she could. I don't know if she could hear us though. Is what I'm saying. Because I know sometimes she goes on mute and then she goes away and then comes back.
No, sorry. Yeah, I was just getting a drink. No,
Oh,
I'm
cool.
here.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, actually, first off, then, is there like what kind of people can I see inside of the tavern? Is there anyone that looks particularly I guess I'm kind of looking for like an Orly type. So someone who looks like he might be an adventurer or someone who kind of will gets out or it doesn't necessarily stay.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Yeah. That's that's good. That's a 18.
Nice.
You see a couple non-hoplite guards off duty in the process of playing with a few different sort of pieces of a game you don't recognize.
Mm-hmm.
Big cups of wine next to them. Looking about, you do see one figure with slightly nicer looking clothes. Cloak kind of draped over one shoulder. He's in the process of sipping wine and just thumbing a plate of dolmades. He just sort of stuffs one in his mouth.
Okay. I'll kind of like
Looking down and just thinking.
Yeah, I'll give a little nudge to Calliope and kind of gesture that person out as a potential man of interest. Yes, drink anyone? I'm trying to fit in a little bit.
Yeah, can we just have a big pitcher and a couple of glasses? Or are we actually drinking, or? I mean, our friends might be dying in the water, but it's fine.
Well, we kind of have to blend in, so we might as well get a drink.
I've never said no. Well, to a drink anyway.
Would I know what just spending time with it? Would I know what Eslin's and Skitinos' main drinks would usually be?
Yeah, I'd say at this point you guys have traveled together enough that you would
Cool.
have a rough idea, so you can order Calliope the most alcoholic thing they have, Amalia a glass of milk.
Yeah, I'll basically get
Scotty,
everyone.
just whatever you hand him.
Yeah, I'll get everyone's first rounds basically, assuming that Scotty and Eslin might potentially be joining us soon.
Actually, that is an interesting point. I was kidding, but does Amalia drink?
She doesn't. Milk is good.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm getting round for everyone and a water for myself.
He looks at you and says, "There's a horse trough joke there, but that's beneath me." And he slides you a cup of water.
I'm gonna say I'm still looking around with that. How much do I owe you?
He starts having. So you got a cup of wine, 2 cups of wine for Scotty and Calliope, glass of milk,
for Amani, and then Eslin.
3 cups of wine, we'll say, just for simplicity's sake. Aslan is a wine drinker. He's like, you know what? Because I feel bad about that joke, we'll call it an even 5 silver pieces.
Very well, and I give him the 5. Okay, guys, should we take a seat? And I kind of point to the seat that's not necessarily next to the guy, but within kind of like, let me show you, let me show you this potential person, and kind of get an idea as to how we could potentially approach
you're
it.
able to sit into an adjacent table. His eyes flick up momentarily as you sit down, and then he just returns to just being in thought.
At an adjacent booth.
Huh?
Never mind.
Can you make a note of something?
No, no, please, no. I'm sorry.
Are you though?
No.
No,
Oh, there we are.
No, she's not.
no, she's not. She never will be.
So you sat there. Wine is decent, if a bit chunky.
Chunky?
Glad I stuck with water.
Ugh.
Well, not necessarily in a bad way, but ancient wine wasn't always necessarily...
You'd have sediment in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Gordon drinking milk.
yeah. I
Sounds
think
like a gone-off smoothie.
Your milk is a bit chunky too.
Oh.
Oh.
Your water is also chunky.
they've
I
somehow
like them big.
solidified
I like them chunky.
Oh, it's okay. I think we'll kind of take a sip, and we're used to the fineness of more regal places, and just like the sour lemons face for a little bit. Sweet. I'll mention the guy in the corner who seems to be alone and interested, and maybe see if we can glean anything from a friendly conversation from him. So I'll suggest to the girls, one of them go, looking specifically to Calliope.
Yeah, one sec. I just spilled my dice everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Alright, what am I doing?
Just that man over there. Looks like he may have be some importance to us. If we can potentially either get him as a friend, or even just invite him to have a conversation. See what we can glean from him.
So basically, Charm, Calliope over there.
Yay. Right, so that was it's the tavern owner, right? Or person?
No, it's
Who are you pointing to?
the Aragon kind of like guy who's kind of sitting by himself in the corner.
Oh, okay. Dark and Broody
He's
McGee. Cool.
But he's dressed in a
He looks
cream-colored chiton with a purple cloak and a very nice brass clasp.
Yeah. Like he's
Functional clothes, but of a better make.
Yeah, he's clean and he looks of importance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, to him.
Relative importance. He certainly he doesn't look like a prince or anything, but
Yeah.
Okay, can I see what he's drinking, or if he's drinking?
yeah, he's got a cup of wine. Looks like.
Can I get the waiter or someone to send a glass on his table?
You explain this to the waiter. It's like he looks at him, looks at you, winks at you, and gets the cup. Mark off a silver piece for the wine. Hey,
Okay.
Luke, welcome. Sorry, I'm just.
Silver, did you say?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, and I just look at in his direction, and I raise my glass.
He accepts it wordlessly and sort of looks at you. holds it up, sets it down to his other one, and he acknowledges and says thank you, and then he sort of makes a show of, like, he sort of wordlessly says, I'm finishing this one, but thank you, kind of thing, is what you interpret his gestures to mean.
Okay, I go over.
To, what do I owe this, unexpected pleasantry?
Well, you see, my acquaintances and I, we're new to this island, and we're just trying to make new friends.
What kind of new friends? What kind, ones that can get you what you want or where you want?
No, don't say it. Well, all sorts of friends. Fun ones, useful ones.
Alright, I'll bite. Have a seat.
I'm already sitting.
Name's Macaon.
Calliope, nice to meet you. And I point over to the table I stood up from. You see the kitty cat? That's Amalia. And you see the big dude? That is Jason. And if you think about any funny business, if you're trying to pull a knife or something, I can assure you he's gonna kill you. And not in a fun way.
You have an interesting way of making friends.
Yeah, I've been told. But that's the best way.
He turns to you, Amalia, and says, "You're a long way from Oreskos."
What's your point?
Oh.
A passing observation.
What did you say your name was?
Macaon.
Yeah, you're on a list right now, and you should not be on that list right now.
He turns to you, Calliope. Are you guys this warm and inviting to all the new friends you make?
Only towards the ones we actually sort of like or have the potential of liking. So you're welcome.
Nice save. Alright. So, what kind of friend are you in the market for?
Friends will have information or can help us get set information.
Suppose it would have to depend on the information.
And I just asked him what we previously discussed with Jason.
Which was, remind me?
When we were, when he was pointing out the guy.
Is this a pass on to me to ask what it was that we should be looking for?
No, I just don't want to repeat myself.
Fair, fair.
I genuinely don't remember what it was.
That we were looking for information. This is the best dude.
Ah. Sorry, dude.
So this is kind of like an extension of what we gathered from
Okay.
from going to the trinket place and kind of learning more, effectively knowing more about the city that we couldn't get answered from the last one.
Right. Do you talk about the crown?
I personally would say no, but that's up to Calliope.
I wouldn't mention it
Okay.
immediately.
I mean, there's a lot to be gleaned about this island. It's an interesting place. It would help to know what specifically you are after.
Okay, might be a good idea to mention the crown.
If it's dye you
Yeah,
want,
okay.
I don't see why you had to approach me. There are plenty of outlets for the factories, for the refineries, sorry, that can produce it if you've got the coin.
Sorry, did you say dye?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Is that about the purple dye, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Right, okay, so he doesn't know, right?
I would probably
Well-
I'd probably bring up the I'm not going to directly mention the crown or the kind of thing we're looking for, but I'm going to like say in passing, like I'm trying to word to him a description of the thing that I know what it is, and I like in the description that we've been given of what it is looking for. Kind of that kind of vagueness of like, I'll be hearing about this thing, this something, and see what I can glean from that.
Okay. He thinks for a moment. I mean, it sounds like you're describing a reef.
Can you spell that for me, please? Just like that.
Wreath.
Oh, reef. Sorry. Sorry. Okay.
I was gonna say, really? But then I remember my spelling. I was like, yeah, fair enough.
Why would you come here looking for a wreath?
I don't think he knows anything.
You are being kind of vague, you know?
Yeah, we get that a lot. Because I don't know, it looked well, it sounded interesting, and we wanted to check it out.
The only wreath I know of is the one atop the king's head. If you want to get your hands on that one, good luck to you. And I mean that sincerely. That would honestly be impressive to watch.
Well, we might invite you to the show.
Everyone keeps talking
Kidding.
about this king. What's the situation? Because people aren't really they haven't seen the princes and princes, right? That's what we gleaned from the last conversation.
You spoke to some of the locals, I take it?
Yes.
The upper echelons of Faleron don't tend to visit the shanties. They
Understood.
confine themselves to the Violet Citadel.
Bit of a hierarchy going on.
Somewhat. Just a bit.
With
Now, personally, I tend to enjoy the more down-to-earth feeling I get around here, so I make a wander myself.
you
Sorry,
do
you were saying?
you do seem to like your garment seems to be of a looking around nicer variety than most of the others that we've seen. Are you what's your situation? Are you from here? Are you staying here? Do you come down exclusively just for the lovely drink and kind of like take a sip of chunky
he's
water?
finished his one and he's starting on the one Calliope got him as well as. I come down here to conduct my business, and I do come down here to feel a bit more at ease, shall we say. Free of expectation. Free of expectation of presentation. Let's put it that way.
Can I get a vibe as to whether or not he's a royal or close to it?
Go ahead and make an insight check.
Oh, that is
Do a vibe check.
16 plus 1, 17.
You've not encountered too many royals, so it's hard to get a beat on that sort of thing specifically. He reminds you in subtle ways, I'll stress the word subtle, of people like Dorissos or Aristophanes, the people in Meletis who you know to be,
Right.
at the very least, from a better background.
Understood. Understood.
What you can glean with your background is that he's certainly no commoner.
Yeah. Gotcha. And then I think with the other part thing you mentioned
I'll
is
say
use...
though as well, sorry, just as a final point, you don't see too many jewels on him, though.
Okay.
His clothes are made well, but
Basic.
of fancy materials, but there's not too much fanfare about them.
Gotcha. And the second thing you mentioned was your business. What is it you do down here? Just in the off chance that we might be looking for someone of your expertise.
How best to describe it? Are you familiar with the concept of bookkeeping?
Alex is yes. Would Jason be?
Not really.
Then no.
Well, put it this way, my friend. You are aware of every single thing you own. I'm assuming all of it is on your possession at any one time, correct?
Correct.
Did you come here on your own ship?
I don't know if I want to mention the fact that we've got a own ship. Does someone else want to take that one? Because I can't lie in case you want to.
What was the question?
Did we come on our own
Did you
ship?
come here on your own ship?
Did we? Oh.
Finding it really hard
why-
to roleplay this.
You
Why
guys
does our
today
means of
are just
transportation
on it.
interest you that much?
I'm illustrating an example. Let's operate under the assumption of yes.
Yes.
Could you,
Yes.
would you be able to tell me exactly the quantities of supplies and the exact different types of every single supply you have aboard your ship?
God no.
Nope.
Well, perhaps it's not such a issue for a single ship, but when it comes to the production output of the life and blood of an entire city-state, that is a more considerable concern. It is my job to numerate, itemize, and essentially keep track of everything we sell and for how much.
Okay.
For that is how we may find discrepancies and address issues of the matter. Those sorts of books are important to keep track of because you never know when you might have to revisit that information in the event of theft, disaster, or anything to that effect. So, I'm a glorified itemizer, if that.
And would you say that you are the best at your job?
In all of Theros, I don't know about that, but I'm still working in the job, so that's got to count for
You
something,
must
right?
be good. Yes. I'm going to keep that one in my back pocket for now.
I'm good at numbers and not much else, but it's what I do, and I do it well enough to scrape by on a modest living.
Understood. Well, Amalia,
I
Calliope,
I told you a little bit about me, so tell me, what is it you're really after?
Jason stays quiet for this one.
Right, you wanna?
Right. We're just, as I said, after making some new friends and exploring some new places.
Make a deception check.
What? I'm not lying. That's part of what we're doing. Deception was my deception.
You're definitely withholding information, so
Yeah.
I'm going to count it as a deception
Well,
check.
that's not necessarily deception, I
A
wouldn't
lie
say.
of omission is still a
17
lie. Wonder Woman.
Fine. 17 plus 6, 23.
Yeah, no, even if he had like a +5, I don't have a stat block for him, but he rolled a 14, so even if he had, unless I just now decide to make him a bard with a 5 in wisdom and expertise, he wouldn't succeed, so yeah, alright. He eyes you up and down. Well, judging by your various state of arms and armaments, I'm guessing, you might have something to do with, the western side of the island.
Why? What's on the western side of the island?
A small army of ravenous, spotted, laughing dog people.
Okay.
We, definitely get the odd glory seeker seeking to put an end to the menace or reclaim lost treasures from some of the ruins, or the usual self-aggrandizing nonsense, and very few return, and fewer still in a state of mental stability.
You said that you were good with numbers and a tracker of items. Just out of curiosity, most of the items that kind of come back to you, would you know if most of them came from a certain area, or if there's like a hot spot of recovering either lost items or goods that are found?
Perhaps I wasn't clear enough the first time. The items I track are things we produce, chiefly the
Okay.
export of the dyes, but in some cases shellfish and other exports of ours.
That's fine. That was just a curious question when you mentioned it.
Not to worry, I probably could have been clearer about it myself.
No, you were clear enough. I am just. He takes like a sip of his water. It's really hard to play this guy when I'm playing a really intelligent person in another campaign. I'm like having an existential crisis right now.
Well, I'll ask you another question then. What have you heard so far? I know you've spoken to others before me.
What was the question?
I am aware that you mentioned you'd spoken to others here on this island before you arrived at my doorstep, he says with air quotes. What have you heard? Perhaps that will help me set you on the right path.
I don't think we've mentioned, have we?
We
We
did
haven't
not
said-
mention that. I don't
We haven't said anything. He's just asking in general, I think.
He asked, you've spoken to some of the townsfolk, and you guys nodded in affirmation.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we didn't get anything interesting. Otherwise, I wouldn't be asking you.
Touché. Much as I enjoy going round and round in circles,
Yeah.
is there a point? Because you're not telling me anything, and yet you want me to be able to divulge everything. So, understand my situation. It's not a case of not wanting to. I'd really like to answer your questions. It's just, I don't know what they are.
Right then, what do you want to know?
what are you aiming to... What is your business on this island?
I'm pretty sure we've answered this like 3 times now.
You're looking for a wreath, from what I can gather. The only wreath I know of is atop the king's head. Give me an olive branch in 20 minutes, and I'll make you one if it's any old after.
I lean back in my chair and just whisper.
He whistles, but in a way that where he vibrates his tongue and it makes a surprisingly good cricket noise.
Can
I can't
lean
do
back
it, but
in my chair and just whisper in Jason's ear. I don't think he knows anything, but he did mention that there's treasure on the west side.
I look up at Whisper. It's like, I think he knows more than he's saying, but this is at times like this when I miss Eslin.
That is true. And then just leans back where she was, and then just smiles at the guy. And then looks to Calliope like, what are we doing?
I don't know what you're doing, my feline friend, but you seem to be failing spectacularly at it, and it's quite amusing.
One.
Can't hear you.
Okay, what about now?
Yeah.
Okay. One, I didn't say those words. I gave Calliope an eye look that said that word.
You don't have telepathy. You can't convey...
Yes, but
like,
you can
whole
give someone an
sentence.
eye look and they will know what you mean. And I've been with Calliope a long time for her to know what I mean.
There are limits.
Okay, if there's going to be an awkward silence, I'm going to ask for specifically about the wall that was mentioned earlier, just kind of out of curiosity, saying that someone kind of mentioned it in passing, and that it's most likely the way onto the other side. Is it one of those places which is particularly guarded, or you can kind of talk your way over, or, excuse me, like if we tried to go over the wall, for instance, would we be met with resistance?
Keremon's wall.
Yeah, and I kind of like look on the map really quickly and go, yes, that's the one.
I mean, they'll look at you like you're a crazy person, but they'll let you pass. They probably won't necessarily open the gates for you, so you'd be kind of expected to just hop down, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they would lower a rope for you or something like that if you wanted. They take security very seriously, so they very rarely open the gate for anything or anyone. I don't even think there is a gate on. No, there is not. Sorry.
Okay.
But they'll let you pass. There are adventurers who've passed through and they've been let through. It is heavily guarded, but in one direction.
Understood. It's one of those stop things coming in as opposed to letting things get out.
Yes.
Okay.
And you guys don't look like spotted dogs that are bipedal, so jury's still out on this one, points to Amalia.
What did I do? I am a cat, and dog is the opposite. Okay?
I'm deeply sorry. Yes, the Keremon's wall was erected at the end of the war. Once they were able to beat back, it was named for the commander who gave his life to hold the forces back long enough for the war to be complete.
Understood. General question, which we can either do as a DM question or a in-game question. Mm-hmm. The map has trees on it. Is the majority of it just forest and kind of dense wood?
It's not what I would call dense wood.
Mm-hmm.
There's some amount of spacing, but it's denser in some places than other. But nothing would approach, like a thick forest.
Okay, cool.
Except in maybe a couple of places at the very base of the mountain.
Yeah. My question was more going to be like, if I could ask about potential beasts that we could encounter. Obviously, like jokingly saying, well, you have the dogs on the dog men on one side. Are there any creatures on this side that we should be wary of, minus the mountain? I think was it mountain lion or cave lion?
No, there's the odd lion, as you're aware. Maybe a couple lynxes here and there. Grass vipers, but nothing you wouldn't encounter anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for having a conversation. And he says that with an inflection in the question mark with us.
I mean this sincerely. I did my best.
No, yeah, we appreciate the help you were able to give us.
Thanks for the drink.
Yes, of course. I'm gonna buy you another one just for your time. And
don't trouble yourself. It's glad to be of assistance.
No, definitely. I kind of walk as he's kind of walking away. He's like, no, I definitely feel like we need to buy you a drink. Yeah.
Very well. Same as before. Cool. Mark off another silver piece for the cup of wine.
Already have, yeah.
Go ahead and bring that on over to you, and you bring it back to him. A bit silty, but in a good way, I think.
I don't want to hear any of you fucking rip-ezzling about social interactions again after
This
that.
is really fucking difficult. I'm actually in like hot sweats with this. It's really. I've got like a soul burning.
This
I
is
think
such
the
a
real-
disaster.
The real MVP there was Calliope with absolutely nothing to add
Oh yeah.
at all.
Oh.
It's really painful. It's
Can
like
I just smile at him again and be like, "Thank you for your time," and then change my chair over, like to the other side of the bar.
yeah, I've got sweat running down my butt cheeks. Like,
Okay, so do you leave his table?
Yeah.
that makes it even better. We've had the most awkward conversation, and then we get up and move to the adjacent table.
I did not think it was possible to TPK a social section of this game.
We murdered that. Well done. Oh god. yeah. There's literally nothing else I could do. That's Alex, not Jason.
For the record, Amalia did turn around and say thank you for your time before she got her chair and walked to the other table.
He holds up his cup and says, "My absolute pleasure, and good luck." With that, he gulps the wine that you gave him in one hit and just stands up and takes his leave.
I miss Eslin.
Unless you guys want to do anything else, I'll say for the purposes of brevity that
Take a long rest.
Eslin, you and Skotinos pull up into the docks, and you're on the docks now.
I'll sort of wring out the cloak. I don't actually know whether or not it keeps water, but kind of like try and wring out that. Certainly the rest of my clothes do. And I'm kind of like sodden.
Yeah, it does. It's fine. It's fine.
Sorry, we wouldn't, because we weren't doing anything else. Jason probably would have most likely gone to where Eslin and Skatinos dropped off originally, kind of hoping that they would come back because it's been a while.
Yeah, we will come to. I mean, did we jump?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we come.
You've got like 5 hours, so yeah. You pull in as the sun has set, and you see that you guys stand up, having wiped yourselves off, and you see Jason standing there, just half asleep a little bit in terms of just like with the boredom.
How did it go? Everything going good?
I like immediately go up and give them both a hug. I'm glad that you two are okay. We were worried for a while. I was worried for a while.
We did nearly get killed by a shark.
That
nearly though.
I love your timing. That was the best time to let someone know that who was worried that we might have been killed, that we were in a fight. We were fine, by the way, Jason. Well, social interactions are really not the forte of this troop, is it? How did it go from you? Did you glean any information from the locals?
Yes, we did. And I'll kind of like run off the very small list of things that we got. And that's going to be metagaming. Never mind. I mentioned the trinkets. I mentioned sorry, what was his name? The guy in the bar.
I cannot remember, but I know he's on my list somewhere.
Macallan.
Thank you. I mentioned him and the situation with the die and the purveying. I mentioned the king and the crown and the wall.
Well, we imagined that.
Oh, and the observatory.
Oh.
I suppose is there any place that there's no rumours of where the royalty is buried.
Maybe I might be able to glean us an invitation. Maybe, just possibly, hopefully. Well, I come from a family of jewelry traders. I don't know how much sway my name has here, but
Don't know unless you try.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, exactly.
We travelled around the island. There's a couple of places that have the kind of rocks that would be similar to like kind of what we're expecting. I understand what Daxos was referring to when he was talking about the composition of the rocks, but there was a few places, potentially either at the very northernmost part of the island where the mountains sort of like reach, all the way to the very west. There is, I forget the name of the place, but it's not the little town. It's like it's another small settlement on the very west, and there are more of these like outcrops. We couldn't see any specific ones that matched what we were looking for, but the composition of the rocks seemed closer to what we're looking for. As we travelled further south, looked less likely. The ground became more silty, so I don't think it'd be too far south. Though right at the southernmost tip of this island, there is an abandoned castle, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Really, really, really nice, or was. Doesn't look like it's being lived in, though we didn't check. We checked around there quite closely just in case. It is an old keep of some royalty, but we didn't see anything there either. So most likely, I would think either the northernmost tip or the far west. Though if we do have curiosity, I certainly would say it'd be worth having a look in detail about that abandoned castle. I don't know. I wouldn't mind moving in. Bit lick of paint.
So with like all this conversation happening, Justin will kind of like take out the map and kind of make a few notes as to like kind of paralleling what's being told, and kind of make notes of what was seen here. I'm assuming the one they're talking about is the palace at the bottom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
I kind of tap there and say, yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds about right.
That's
And then I also point towards the as I'm looking at your map I then also, there's the big wall over here, lots of hoplites. We went a long way around because we didn't want to cause issues there.
And then I'd explain to them what we learned about the wall and hoplites and how things aren't necessarily like, it's one of those things of, it's probably, I would say like it's a good idea that they went down, in the sense that they were coming in that direction. There's a good chance that they could have been hit, but it's like we're okay to go out. It's harder to come back in. So good call on the dive.
Well,
Also, I've also came up with a new song, and I relay my "fuck you, little fishy" song. That's...
yeah. I mean, he did like take a like like Eslin's still sort of like bleeding a little, just a little.
Oh yeah.
Should we get you some drink and some rest?
I mean, as long as I get a rest, I'll probably be fine.
As long as I
Hopefully
get drink,
don't
I'll be fine.
encounter that man you mentioned, because, well, I think I might just die from secondhand embarrassment, you know?
I'll say at this point as well, you guys see a familiar 6'7" blonde woman with a silvery haired woman, sorry, a platinum blonde woman behind her, like a little girl behind her, coming up the jetty. Big stag over her shoulders.
I will make her like a whistle of an impressed whistle.
She does a mock bashful shrug. She claps Tennis on the back and says, "This one, best spotter I've ever hunted with."
Ooh.
Somehow I am not surprised.
Oh.
Yeah. There's like a
Tennis
knowing nod
stifles
as
a
well.
chuckle.
It's good to see everybody. Well, yeah. Shall we go to bed? We
How
could
much
sleep on the boat.
How much? The boat would be cheaper.
I imagine. so.
Although
Yeah.
I did find 2 silver drachmi, so that's another glass of wine actually. I'll go and buy another glass of wine.
Yeah, let's go to the bar and have a few drinks and relax, and then see how we feel.
Cool.
All right, you guys return to the previous bar. Order another round for yourselves. Mark off a silver piece each, except for whoever's getting water and whoever's getting milk. So let me actually do a calculation because I never have this handy. It's under expenses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll say. Oh, I overcharged you for the wine.
So right, I buy more wine with it.
You know what? We'll say your drink. So it's a mug of ale is 4 copper pieces. So we'll say that your drinks are covered for the evening based off of the amount of silver you spent last time as well.
Okay. Cool.
Nice.
I'm treating wine like ale because it kind of was like that circa the Homeric era. Yeah. Oh, my back. Oh,
Other than that, I am going to If we look like we're planning to do anything else, I will take a short rest to recover some hit die. If it looks like we're going to actually rest, then I will enjoy the long rest.
Well, I think 'cause it took you the day to kind of get around, so I'm assuming it's going to be a rest, right?
That's what I would prefer. But
Yeah.
It is definitely the evening at this point.
Yeah.
You know what they say about assuming, though, right?
You make an ass out of you and me.
Yeah.
Did you guys leave Galatea and Tannis back at the boat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have stayed
Just-
with Galatea.
I would
Okay.
have probably gone back to the boat before going to bed to make sure the girls are okay and fed as well and everything too.
Yeah, Galatea has sorted that. You see Tannis hungrily munching on a really big, like really thick, juicy ribeye.
Alex is kind of jealous.
Same?
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact,
Nice.
the whole crew is partaking in this big old elk that
Beast.
she took
Yeah.
down.
Nice.
Sweet.
Nice.
Rest.
Yep, long rest.
Okay. You guys, who's getting a room? Who's sleeping on the boat?
Boat.
I would probably sleep on boat.
Sleep on the boat.
Yeah, same.
All right. You would have been made aware as well. The parking fee for the boat is a gold piece per day.
I can offer two of my remaining silver towards the cost of the parking.
No, but seriously.
That's fine. If it's a gold piece a day, that's fine. I can take the first one. Sweet. Good. One long night's rest, please.
All right. You guys turn in for the evening and lay your heads down, and especially you, Scotinos, because you're not used to even with the aid of the magic of the cloak, you are exhausted. You just and you fortunately have the big arms of a big woman to lay your head down and rest it.
Oh, it's this is the life. Oh,
Surprise! Alert! Attack!
And plot twist, that's just the sound Galatea makes when she snores. But no, seriously. Amalia,
Yeah.
as your head, as you drift off, you feel something hard. You feel the softness of your bedroll be replaced with something hard and brittle.
Can I when you wake up but you're not sure if you're awake or half asleep? Can I
You get up
Mhm.
and you see a skull, like a human skull, just in front of you.
In my face?
Yes. Because
Can
your
I,
face is an inch off the ground.
can I poke it?
Makes a hollow sound. And you see one next to it. And another bone next to it, this time a foot bone. And your eyes look up and you see you're in a blanket of bone shards that seems to extend to the horizon.
Am I fully awake and this is happening?
You have no idea.
Can I scream for Jason?
You scream out. Your scream echoes out. You just see endless bones. Then you begin to hear a rattling sound. Sounding like the bones being shifted en masse. And you see a couple of the bones to your side seem to shift
quickly stand up and grab my axe.
You can't find your weapons.
Sorry, I can't find what now?
Your weapons.
Bastard.
A section of the bone pile begins to sort of sink inwards as it's being shifted and moved along. You look down as the bones part slightly, and you see something long and black and leathery shifting through the bone pile.
Like a snake.
Make a perception check.
Finally, I can use my dice. Oh, natural 20. 4.
You don't see any scales. It doesn't look like a snake. It looks like leather.
Can I try and grab it?
You reach your hand out, and you get it almost sands the skin off your hand as you try to grab it, and you're like, ah! You hold your hand back, and it starts to pick up pace as it shifts even faster, and more of it is being uncovered as it goes along, and you frantically scramble to a nearby, slightly higher pile of bones, and you look up, and you see this long black coil that seems to trail to the horizon. Then you watch as it seems to extend upwards, this long, impossibly long black, for lack of a better term, cable. As it gets wider and wider, as you're pretty sure it seems to stretch to the clouds. And then it loops back around again onto an impossibly long handle. A handle that's being clasped by a skinny, almost to the point of skeleton hand. And stepping through the mist, is a incredibly gaunt figure. He has one long red and one long black, almost robe-like sleeves on an otherwise bare chest. His skin is black and ashy, with two great, enormous golden shoulder pads that have faces depicted upon them. He's skinny. Impossibly skinny. In fact, he seems to be devoid of any guts at all. The skin is stretched out over his bones like an emaciated man that's starved to death. At which point it's just missing after his rib cage, and you see his spinal column without anything else supporting him up, before it flares out again in a skirt, as he appears to be wearing like a chiton that drapes over one shoulder and goes down, and the skirt portion, the robe portion, goes all the way down his legs, but it's unmistakable that his spinal column extends to his ribs, which are all cracked out and jagged, but at around here, just below the sternum, you see the same black-gray leathery skin, a sour expression, and atop his head, around his ears, two long conical horns that make like a Z shape. As he... an impossibly loud whip crack, which seems to rip the sky in two. Erebos, Lord of the Underworld, stands there in all his glory.
Quickly.
Amalia.
Hi. Quickly, when you kneel, but you kneel with one leg down and one leg up, and then you go like that, like you bow, sort of.
Oh, don't grovel. One thing I can't stand is people groveling.
Well, it's not really groveling; it's sort of bowing.
Monty
show you
Python
respect.
reference. Don't worry, he doesn't actually say that.
Okay, it's just to show him respect, though. But yes.
Mm-hmm. He, in a ominous but sort of just inherently ominous, but you discern benevolence in it, Rise.
I didn't hear a word you said. Could you repeat that?
He says,
Sorry.
rise.
Slowly gets up, looks at him.
You have done well so far, my disciple.
Smiles, and then quickly stops, smiling.
Your work is only beginning. This land, this island, is absent of the tranquility of death in the natural form. The path you have set out on, follow it.
Nods. Of course, yes.
See to it that nothing escape my judgment.
We'll do. Okay. Anything else I should know?
You already have everything you need. And with that, he raises his whip once more and scours the ground, sending showers of bones everywhere. You thunk! You seem to be sinking into the bones. And as they slowly envelop you, first to your waist, and to your chest, and to your neck, and as they close over completely, you wake up.
Okay. I never, ever, ever want to have a dream like that again. However, I'm very hungry. Can I stand up and then go look for some food?
Yes, you can. There is food on the ship.
Also, can I just make sure everyone is sleeping and everyone is still alive, from what I know?
As far as you can tell, everyone is alive. Make a stealth check.
Stealth.
Gotta remember to stay upright.
15.
What's everybody's passive perception?
Oh,
17.
I'm asleep. 13.
Aslan, you awake, but to the sound of rustling and turn over, and
Everything alright, Amalia? You're up pretty late.
Sorry, I didn't mean to wake you. You should go back to sleep.
You're right.
very well. You guys come to. I am conscious of time, so we're probably wrapping up sooner rather than later. But you guys have time for a couple bits and bobs, if you so wish. What would anybody like to do as for their morning?
Can I be pacing up and down on the ship?
Yes, you can.
Thank
About 10 minutes in, Tanis comes up and... Is something the matter, Amalia?
you. Nope. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't. You know when you have a dream and you try and decipher that dream, but you're scared of the dream, but you're not really scared of the dream. You're just a little bit confused as to why you had the dream. Does that make sense?
You're talking to an oracle. Of course that makes sense.
Sorry,
She
sometimes
says,
I forget. You're
not in
scared.
like a bad way, but in a way that you sort of more interpret reassuringly, like you get the sense this is the best person to talk to about this. My whole existence is discerning my dreams and unraveling divinations. The gods have spoken to you, I take it?
Oh, so you do know what I'm saying. Yes, yes. Unfortunately, yes. I've never experienced anything like that. I haven't seen him before, but I saw him. He looked pretty cool. I have to say, he did look pretty cool. But he scared the cat out of me, and right now I'm a little kitten. I shouldn't be a little kitten because, like, I mean, I'm tall, and I'm, like, really, like, badass looking, and, like, you know, I'm a lion. But, yeah, I'm scared.
She, pulls you in close, like, as in, like, hugs you slightly on one arm and says, "It's honestly reassuring to see something as mighty as you be frazzled by, such visions. It makes me feel a little better of my own."
But that's because you're small. You would be scared.
I'm bigger than I look on the inside.
Like, I'm not saying, like, you shouldn't be scared, like, everyone should be scared at some point. But I'm just saying that, like, you know, you're a child, I'm not a child. But, like, you know, I'm sorry, I'm rambling, aren't I?
It's quite all right. Is there anything I can do to help?
No, I need to decipher this. I'm gonna go find something to eat. Are you hungry? Do you need anything?
I wouldn't say no to some breakfast.
Okay, I'll go find Jason. Go find Jason.
I'd probably be making breakfast at this point when Ike's on the cook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You will be found by the crew and they will graciously accept breakfast. A few of them will even offer to help.
Yeah, anyone who wants to help, by all means.
At one point, Tannis just pipes in as you guys are sort of eating on the deck of the boat. "So, what are you guys actually looking for?"
That is a very good question. We have an oracle, and we did not ask the oracle about the thing that we are looking for.
Oh my god.
We are actually stupid.
That's the comeback after someone has already said something to you and you think about it the next day. Fuck's sake.
Yeah. So actually, we're looking for a laurel wreath, a very specific laurel wreath. One with like berries and stuff. With
That
gold.
that story would probably suggest that it is on the king's head.
It would have.
Okay,
most
just to
likely-
avoid her looking for the wrong thing, it did not have berries on it, and you
Oh, I
would know
thought you
it
had berries on. Cool.
It
Wasn't it golden leaves and like
golden leaves, silver seashells, and
Sons
sons of
seashells.
discs.
That's what I was thinking of. I got confused with Thandril. Makes
This
sense.
fucking session has been my favorite, and I mean that sincerely.
Yeah, with seashells on.
it also most likely will be found where the king was buried, and the resting place of this king was unknown. I think that is a key description. Maybe if you were able to look for where the king was laid to rest, we may have hope to find it then.
Where a king was laid to rest is,
Well, I lost. I can't remember it, but it was a.
I have
a king.
powerful magic that would allow me to transport my sight directly to a place, but I would have to find a living creature.
Well, there's plenty of gnolls around.
It'd be like looking in a needle for a needle in a stack of needles. It could be any one of them if they know of the place.
what about if we gave you the map and you kind of could you like sense?
Well, surely some.
There could be something of the effect. And she pulls out the she pulls out the same little white pebbles you saw before. And she holds them up, and you see now closer, they are little knuckle bones. It's less precise, but channeling my foresight through these, I have the ability to, it's much vaguer, but I can determine the likelihood whether something would succeed or be positive or negative towards you.
Oh, I know that. Well, there were about 3 places we thought about, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
One by Cosmina, one by Apagia's Palace, and the other one was along by Hyde City, I believe. How many times?
Whose palace? Sorry.
I can't say shit. No, I ain't repeating myself. The castle.
Very well.
Right. Cool. So how many times would you be able to do this for us? Just the once or 2?
Once, I'm afraid.
Okay.
This kind of magic is draining. The palace is the closest one. So that would be, in theory, the easiest one to get to.
In theory.
So if we eliminate Cosmina, at least then we know that we're only heading up half the other side of the island, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that reasonable?
It makes sense to narrow by halving the space.
Yeah, judging from what you've said and obviously with the map we have here, the two main towns are parallel to each other, so it's splitting the island is basically the best way forward.
Okay then.
Very well.
Tanis, would you be able to tell us if we would find the reef in Cosmina or around that area?
I believe I can work with that specific wording, yes. I'm not rolling dice, these are just props. What languages does everyone speak?
Good question.
Common and Sylvan for me.
Primordial, Minotaur, and Common. I don't know why I speak Minotaur. Why not?
Calliope is not here, so I'm unfortunately... I wonder what happened. I have to check up on that. Amalia, what languages do you speak?
Common and the Onan.
None of you speak this language. She recites something. You hear the word Clothis a couple times. That's the other thing you make up. Okrimana. And she shakes it and tosses the bones out, and they sort of scatter on the ground. The omen is not good.
Okay, so we won't be finding it around there. That's good. That's good news.
Signs point to woe.
Woe in Cosmina. Good to know.
And she would go on to elaborate, and Eslin, you would also interpret it. The negative outcome specifically, so essentially you're asking yes or no on the success of a course of action. So she can only determine whether you would be successful or not in terms of any dangers or other risks factors involved. She can't foresee that.
Yeah.
So just to give you an idea of what exactly you have gleaned from this reading for those who are less familiar with the augury spell. Sorry, I dropped a dice.
Okay. Well, that's good news. It means that we don't have to head that far unless we specifically want to.
For now, though, what is our path?
Well, first, it might be worth if I could see if I can merit us an invite. I forgot where you said. Where did you say again?
What did you guys say again?
What? So which one? What are you talking about specifically?
You guys mentioned the merchants and stuff like that, and that, you know, you could get like, if you had like the correct standing or whatever, we could get like in somewhere. Or not, and I just completely had a hallucination.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to figure out the wording. Because maybe I'm misunderstanding. Are you talking about the guy in the bar that we were talking to?
No, she's talking about that secret kind of like. Well, I don't know.
Are
if
you
it's a
talking about
party.
the citadel, the
Yeah.
part of the town that you have that
That
people
like it's
say you can't
impossible
go
to get into.
Yeah.
I got the impression it was more like a clique.
Yeah.
Well,
And
It-
there wasn't really like anyone in particular that we could potentially go to gain a particular favor.
no, but I come from a family of traders, so
Oh
you know,
yeah,
if it's merchants, then maybe.
it's worth asking.
Also, as like a out of character, like mechanics thing, being from nobility means that sometimes people assume you're supposed to be where you are.
Yeah.
So you know you have,
There's always a shot.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's worth it, do you guys think so, or should we just continue?
There is no harm in seeing what further information we can glean there. Perhaps they have better wine.
And from what I've gathered, there seems to be a very typical hierarchy going on. So there could be a case of people who are higher up might know very specific things about what we're looking for. They may even have it. That's just me guessing.
Yeah. Also, every time we mention the crown / diadem, whatever it is, everyone assumes we're talking about.
Neither one of those words has been used to talk about it.
Well, you have used it. Okay, but all right. You see the thing that we're
Yeah.
looking for with the seashells and the leaf.
The
Yeah.
wreath.
The
Yeah.
wreath on the king's head.
Yeah. Basically, everyone thinks we're talking about the king. So
Having a person in high places could definitely get us some leeway.
Unless they think we're after his crown.
Unless they think we're after its crown. But again, a person in high places may... Sorry?
I think some people think that we're after the crown because every time we bring it up, they assume we're talking about the king, and then it gets really awkward. And Eslin, I missed you yesterday. Please never leave me again.
I'll try not to, as best I can, you know. Right. Okay. Well, I'll write a letter. Introduce myself. Maybe they know my family. Maybe not. Well, I know they know my family because my family work in this area. But whether or not they know me is a different thing, unfortunately.
Very well. Are you guys heading to the Violet Citadel?
I guess invitation to the ball.
All right. You guys set out, heading towards the footbridge, which is part of the polis near here, and I'll say that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Sweet.
Try to do
Sweet.
a better job of ending it at a reasonable hour.
10:30 is good.
Yeah, 10:30 is good.
3.5 hours. That's roughly how long Crit Roll runs, isn't it?
Yeah, once you take out the advert and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you to, I assume it's Luke, our one fan in the audience.